albums that we're not gonna hear. It's gonna hurt me. I know we know you got songs in
Yeah.
a vault somewhere, in this steel vault,
Yeah. Guys with
and
machine guns
I
outside the
mean,
boat.
literally.
Well, I pop out. We just did the Case Naked record. Me, Raheem Devon, and Case. It's Case's joint. I did Kenyon Dixon's record, 90s R&B. I'll slide on a few joints and then dip back out. We got the Sex project, which is Silken Next. That should be coming. The record Say It, which is I'm excited about it.
I love
But there
that
is a
you're
lot of music.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It
I
is.
don't know my question is with that, I'm happy that we're going to get that music, and Imma be loving on it. Imma be
Thank
loving
you.
all on it.
Yeah.
Who are the powers that there has to be some outside forces, different labels, politics that are
The
stopping
manager
because
is
because
almost in
because
the beginning.
because of course if say if you're teamed up with with other people besides your group members and you make songs, somebody's stopping it from coming out. Cause I know y'all will want it out. You know what I mean? I know you want it out. There's
But
some
Well, it's
politics or something.
I'll give an example. There's a whole album, WQRL, which is Wingo from Jagged Edge, Q Parker, and myself. It'll never come out. It's cool. I understand when you oversaturate the market, and it's harder because, yes, when we go do a WQRL show, they're gonna want to hear Jagged Edge, Next, and 112 records. So
yeah.
the other group members would have a problem with that. They look at it as you taking food out of their mouth, which I
Ah,
get. Me and Q, we have
ah.
a project called the QR Code, Q Parker. He's focused on his project right now. Later on, we might do that.
Mm.
Me, him, and Chauncey from Blackstreet. That's our big
Blackstreet.
bro. We all go to lunch all the time and do different things. That's an option. But there is so much. A lot of times we just get together and jam and create, and the world doesn't hear it. I'm not gonna lie, that does happen.
That I know it is. I know you
For
got.
sure.
I know it's in there, and I'm like, we ain't gonna hear it. Literally before you came on, I'm
Only way
like,
you hear is
that's what's getting it.
challenges. Only way you hear it is challenges. I did the oh my goodness. First I did the residual challenge playing around because Tank
Hmm.
says something. Then Jay Moss asked me to do his, and he's my favorite, all-time favorite. So I did Jay
Shout
Moss.
out J Moss.
And then I did the folded challenge, but I took the folded challenge to the next level, which allowed Joe Buttons on his podcast to talk about it like twice, and he literally
Mm.
played the whole thing. And those are the avenues and opportunities when these cats that have these major platforms um show you love. That gives you that a sprinkle of attention. He's invited me on his podcast, and it all started from us being human. He was going through COVID. I sent him a COVID package. I didn't want anything.
Mm.
It was like you sick. I got this. My herbalist showed me this little thing.
Yes, and
I sent him a package, and it's all about the human side of things. Like
Yeah.
Jagged and 112. Those are my favorite groups. Drew Hill. Them dudes are rock stars. They're Baby Jodeci. You know what I'm saying? So for
No.
me, it's all love with everybody.
Yeah.
see, all right. I figured.
Now, real quick, one thing I just want to say real quick. I had no idea how much you're committed to being in groups. Like, I thought it was just a next thing. And then it's like, you tell me all these projects with different groups you're doing are heroes. And it's just, I don't even know how you're going to Silk and Next, all these ninjas in the studio. I don't even know how you're doing the delegation,
The
you,
vocals.
but you haven't stopped wanting to collaborate with groups. And it
Yeah.
almost reminds me of, like I said, the kid that was hungry, that just want to be in the room and help and coach and whatever that I can do. Like, you got to have a personality like that it's like, hey, I feel comfortable with this cat because there's no pressure. He's not an ego type of guy. He's not trying to take
Mm-hmm.
control. He's encouraging
Right.
me. He's helping me. So I really, really admire the fact that you stay committed to the idea
Thank you.
of still working with groups, even to the point that you're putting super groups together. And we may not even hear some of these songs, but just to hear it is crazy to me.
I
And
appreciate it, man.
but real quick, I want to get more into it's up to you, Mo, unless you have something else to say. But I want to say, and I want to start off this topic like this: We Can't Be Friends. That duet, I think it's probably, and I'll say top 5. I won't say top 10. The best bridges I've heard on a song. And
And be stirring, catch
yeah,
me in a day. When
yeah,
see me hang my head, when you
yeah,
come my way.
yeah.
Don't get
Don't
too
get the
close to
bottom to
me.
me,
Expect me
expect me
to
to.
behave. I might just steal a kiss. Yeah, that's one of we've only performed that record one time.
That's
One time ever.
crazy.
The
What?
Lady of Soul Awards one time. I remember she was on tour with like Kenny Lattimore, and I wanted to walk up to him on some Five Heartbeats, like, how does it feel to be? But that's my guy. He's super dope. But
Shout out to
it's
you, bro.
I think we have a different audience somewhat. She's more
Yeah,
upscale. I'm gonna be honest. She's more refined than me. I'm hood. Okay.
yeah.
Deborah's a princess, a queen. I am a frog. All right. So I understand our audiences are different, but I would love to hit the
Nah,
stage
they
at
should
least
have. Y'all
once
should have
more.
did it. You should have ran with that. That definitely should have been some shows out of that. That doesn't make
Uh-huh.
sense to me.
But
But
that
it's an anthem. It's an anthem.
Thank you.
And what other songs? Like, what are your? Because we love bridges, right?
Right.
And we always thought that when there was more church musicians in the music game,
Mhm.
I believe that there's that essence of God, that brings the soulfulness and the realness that from the actual sound sonically, because it's not so much
Mhm.
sonically, it's just feeling, in raw
Right.
talent and raw instruments. Um, but with that being said, um, with the absence of that dynamic, because I'm not hearing enough people saying, I came from church, I came from church, I came from church. There was a time where every
Mhm.
artist and producer was saying they came from church and stuff. And I always thought
Right.
that church element also made bridges on R&B songs almost like a no duh kind of thing,
Mhm.
And the bridges, of course, the chord changes and it takes you to another place of the story. And then you go back to the climax to go back to the hook.
Mhm.
So my question is, we love bridges. Without bridges, I feel like it takes an element of feeling away from the song. It takes an
Mhm.
element of storytelling from the song. And so we have certain songs where I love the bridges too. I could say another one, Mario, How Could You? Another one of my
Mhm.
favorite bridges.
hmm
What are some songs that stick out to you, R&B wise, where it's like the bridge from that song though?
Any Jodeci record, but I do want to say this. It's hard to have a bridge on a song that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We used to have
Mm,
4 minutes records. It used to
normal.
be,
at least 4 minutes.
and then,
Yeah.
right. And then secondly, you have to be able to vocal. A lot of people, there's people that can sing and riff, but do they have range? Like I have a scratchy voice and I don't have much of a false, but I can squeeze a high note out full voice.
hmm
But there are cats that don't necessarily have the range to take a record and elevate key wise. So that's the hard part. Other bridges I like, it's hard to say because it's a lot of
I mean,
gospel.
we
Like
could,
Yeah.
and I got demos from Jay Moss that are R&B records that nobody will ever hear because there was a quick moment that he did like the NSYNC. He
well,
did
that's another thing.
Have I
Yeah.
told you I wasn't done? He did all he did the Chili's baby back joint, but for a
Yeah.
hot second he did secular. It was like literally if you blink, you missed it, right?
You're
But
right.
I have records, demos that I was privy to that I listen to that stuff. But for me, it's Jodeci. The first Joe album. Joe's one of my all time favorites. I love Tank, but Joe is probably excuse me, one of my all-time favorite. His first album, I'm in love, round and round I go. That album, in
That
loving
album.
you is wrong, baby.
That
I don't
album.
wanna be. That album is my top 5 albums ever,
Really?
ever,
Now
Mm.
that's what
easy,
I'm talking
ever,
about.
You gotta take that
ever.
note.
Now that first
Mm.
Joe album, not a lot of people know. They
Didn't he have a
sleep
high
on it.
top? He had a
Yeah,
high
Yeah, yeah,
top?
yeah, yeah. The hot top.
yeah,
Yeah. A lot of people
yeah,
sleep on it.
Mm.
They don't know about that album. They only think the first album was the second album,
uh,
actually.
yeah. Was that "Don't Be a Player" because it was
Yeah.
on that soundtrack?
Yep. The Don't Be a
Mm.
Menace to South
You
Central.
were
Yeah.
drinking your juice in the
Juice in the
yep,
Hood.
uh-huh.
So that soundtrack alone was so serious. People thought that was Joe's first album. And I'm
Right.
like, dude, no, it ain't.
No, he had a man. Listen, he's still cold, but I have Jay Moss's
He's a
first album.
100%er. Joe, he's
Yeah,
a 100%er.
yeah,
Yeah.
You said J Moss
yeah,
album?
yeah. I have his first album that nobody knows about. I showed him one day, and he don't even have it. Literally.
What?
It was on like some small label in Detroit or something. I literally got this album. My mother owned a hair salon, and somebody had like a cassette tape of J Moss and one of Joe, and
Mm.
I stole them both. And boy, we were riding around in a hoopty listening to that. I had a little pull out JVC joint. We would be listening to J Moss and Joe's albums. Listen, oh my goodness.
Now, when it comes to, I'm sorry, Mo, go ahead. So when we're talking about bridges, right, we also talk about like layers of harmonies, vocal approaches when it
Mhm.
comes to laying backgrounds and harmonies, right? And I remember watching certain interviews with like the Jacksons, and they said they were very influenced by the Carpenters.
Oh, the
And
Bee Gees. No, Bee
um,
Gees. Bee Gees. Bee Gees. Oh my God, Bee Gees.
so
Easy.
that's your go-to.
Go listen to the harmonies on the beat. Them man, them three brothers.
You ain't lying.
Maybe because
Yeah.
there's three of them, but if you listen to their harmonies,
Mm.
they the best to me, the best ever.
Yeah,
Besides,
Better than the
of course,
like
Commission had great
Ireland
harmonies, but how tight they were, the Bee Gees, hands down.
he's
Bee
absolutely
Gees.
right. I listen to it a lot because again, DJing, and I'm listening, and when I'm listening, I'm like, yeah, these dudes is really dope. Like dope.
Yeah, I mean, incredible.
Real quick, did I interrupt? I'm good. Um, I know you have. I was we've been looking at interviews, right? And we listen to what you talk to as well, what you're saying. And it seems like you have a lot of experience and you have very much a teacher's personality a lot too
Uh-huh.
sometimes. And sometimes
Mhm.
it comes off like you're preaching too, literally,
Right. Oh, okay.
So I feel like you tap into these sides, the teacher, the preacher, the teacher, the preacher.
Right.
And I guess my question is actually this has nothing. I don't even know why I said that. What I wanted to say was coffee brown, right?
Okay.
This is how I'm tying it into.
Oh,
This is how I'm tying it into. I got it.
Okay.
I,
From what I understand, I did get the vibe that there was a time where you felt like your voice wasn't being heard and you had a lot of information to give, but there just wasn't that respect or that appreciation
Right.
for it.
Right.
My thing was when you got to a place where you proved yourself, you have accolades, you're working with big people, and now you're positioned to where now you can sign artists, you can look for an artist, you know? And when I think of an artist that you discovered, one of the artists I think of is the group Coffee Brown. We love that song. What's the song? After the party,
yeah.
that one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought for the longest, and I wanted to be like, that's your vocals on the background. And
It
then I
is.
had to do my research. Oh,
I'm
it is?
talking in the background. I'm talking. If you listen, I'm doing my Puff Daddy in the background. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
Okay,
y'all a
that
funny
is
story.
you.
I
okay, yeah,
so I wrote whatever for Next.
okay.
Oh,
Tilo and Tweet wanted the after party. I'm like, the record is dope, but it doesn't fit us. But
Oh,
they made us record it twice. Clive calls me and he goes, you know what, you're right, it doesn't fit you guys. I'll give it to Coffee Brown. But by then, I'd given Ideal whatever, and it was climbing the charts. I think they went for ads the Tuesday before we did. And the head of
mm,
Black Music, Lionel Ridenhour, had hit me going off like, why did you give this record away? What is this record I'm hearing on the charts? And I'm like, listen, I offered it to the guys, but they heard the demo and they had demo ears. They couldn't hear what it was gonna
yeah.
be.
yeah.
Um, so we didn't get to use it. I didn't discover the group. What happened was I had met Falante, who was the original male in Coffee Brown,
Hmm.
in his trailer home because we had like the drug dealer manager back in the day. None of us had made it yet, so I went to St. Louis with them, and he's like, I got this kid, he can really sing. Boom, boom. So I met him. He ended up moving him up to Minnesota. Drug dealer and he had a keyboard, and we always said whoever made it first. So when KG came to us
Oh,
and was like, "Yo, we're looking for somebody who I'm looking to, for some new artists." The guys that mentioned Lullinger III, who was dope. He was this alternative artist who is this either the brother or cousin of Kirk Franklin's wife. Because what people don't realize is we were under the same management. Kirk Franklin's wife had a group called Ashanti, and they had a song, There Is Something Wrong with a Little Bump and Grind. So we all came up together. So I was invited to Kirk Franklin's wedding. I was just broke, so I couldn't go right. So what's crazy is I remembered him, and I was advocating for him. They were advocating for Lullinger, and Kay ended up flying in Falante. He was going to be a solo artist. Coffee Brown was this other guy, and Vernell V.
Yeah.
Well, we were at the showcase. It was in a like a conference room at Arista. Clive is there. They both performed.
Yeah.
And, I- and we still laugh about this to this day because the guy that was in Coffee Brown at the time was so confident that when Clive left, Clive was leaving the room, he go, cut the check, right? And we get in the office and they close the door and Clive is like, yeah, I like her and I don't like him. I want the other guy with her. That's the group. And that was Fonz and V. And that's how Coffee Brown came together. And I didn't write the first single. I wrote the second one as well as
The
like two or
weekend
three
thing.
of the records on the album.
The
Yup.
weekend or something. Yeah.
It's Friday, midday, leaving work early. The
Yeah.
first single though, I'm talking all over it. And
Yeah.
people thought it was the next record, but it was, I think, Tramp did the record, who's incredible producer. But yeah, that's how that
But
happened.
they said so. Okay, so then you have to correct this then, because when I was researching it, it said that Q Martin from Next Vocals was on the Coffee
I don't
Brown
even know.
joint.
I don't even know who Q Martin is. When I say my vocals, I mean if you
What is
listen,
going on here?
right? If you
The damn
if you
AI.
listen to the talking in the background, that's me.
I
I'm doing
heard
the
that
Puff
voice,
Daddy.
but
All of that.
I
That's
thought you were
me.
singing on it too.
Nah. No. That's
And then
all.
they
That's
said
all
Q
Fonz.
Martin,
That should be all
Quesadillas.
Fonz. I had no idea who.
See?
And matter of fact, Fonz, what's crazy is Fonz and Rob, I can't, Fazari, I think his name is, actually wrote and produced the Jelly, what's the Jelly record from Destiny Child? I used to be in
The
yeah,
jelly.
uh,
Babe. Oh my gosh. I ain't thinking around it.
Is this a B side or a hit?
No, it's a hit.
it's a hit.
It's a hit.
Yeah. Fonz
I
produced that, co-produced it.
oh.
Kelly, are you ready?
Oh yeah, Bootylicious.
Bootylicious.
Bootylicious,
There
yep,
we
yeah,
go.
that's the record. And I'm sorry, y'all. I love Destiny Child. We actually did a record with them, but I didn't know the name of that song. Maybe that's why. I'm not thinking of Bootylicious. Hey, but yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, y'all. I could name
you're
any
good.
other record. Sorry.
So I said, I'm okay. So it's not what the story that I thought at research. Okay, got you. Now, I love the record with Q Parker, 60 Seconds.
You know what? That record was by the time it came out, it was probably 4 or 5 years old. I don't even really
even
remember
it.
like
You have
that.
to hear that
remember it.
song.
You don't remember it like that. Yeah, because
Especially.
it's too yeah.
Like,
I'm talking about from the time it came out.
Yeah.
It was that we lived in close proximity to each other, but we weren't like necessarily cool. We're cool, super cool now, but back then it was still rivals. What had happened was I made the mistake of in the early infantry of social media, I made a statement on a mixtape because we were the first R&B group to put out a mixtape. We were down with G Unit, and we put out the Moisture mixtape. And I said on the record,
That's good. Like my Moisture
Jagged at
mixtape.
112.
Full time.
Yep, I was like Jagged at 112. Y'all better be ready because we coming. Right, I said something like that, and
Yeah.
it was more of a, I don't know if you guys are athletes or have ever been in
Competition.
anything
No, it's
competitive. It was literally
competition,
saying
dog.
Competition.
I've been working out all summer. I'm
working,
gonna see
come
you
on.
during the season.
Let's
Big game
It
up.
was really healthy. It was
Yeah.
all love. But Ryan Cameron, who's a super cool dude out here, I was new to Atlanta. He's major on Atlanta radio. He brought it up because he called them cats and woke them up in London
They were
and
hot.
got them on the radio, and it became like drama. So when I first moved here, it was real uneasy. The atmosphere for me was really uneasy. So when Q reached out and we became somewhat cool, I was still apprehensive, but I helped him write with the record. Boom. And we didn't literally talk for quite some time, but then we reconnected later and we've done other things. So yeah.
Oh,
That's very interesting because when you hear that track and you hear like, I hear you on that track so much, and
wow,
it would
dope,
just,
man.
it would make sense where it was like, these cats was really collaborating, like in the studio together, vibing, rocking together, but that wasn't the case. It wasn't like y'all wasn't boys, no brother. It was like, but y'all still managed to collectively come together
when
and
you're
come up with.
you have to be professional. You got to know how to do your
Yeah.
job, and if you can, it can look more cohesive than it is. I think that's the key. Like you have to make it look like it's. That's like we were talking about artists that might be in a good relationship, but you're used to their breakup music. You got to be able to tap into that. It has to look. People got to think there must be problems at home, and you might be
Mhm.
happier than you ever been, but they should be able to listen to
Yeah.
your music and go, "Oh, she's still going through it," and they really not. You got to be able to put on.
The belief.
Acting.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
By any
Mm.
chance, I don't want to switch it up because I know you got something else on that. Are you good, S, on that part?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I just need to know.
Yeah.
It's maybe a left turn. What is the wildest thing that you could think of a fan asking you to do or randomly? Like,
I'll say this: I got in trouble early in my career where somebody extorted money from me for something I didn't do.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to learn because okay, they
People
will
don't talk
try
about
to.
that.
People will try to attach your worst moments to you. That is how they will identify you.
Mm.
Michael Vick is the coach of Virginia A&M. Well, it's one of the schools I think.
Yep.
Has done philanthropy work. Great guy, made a mistake. You'll read an article and they'll say convicted dog, whatever, and that'll be what they try to identify you as. And I hate that. We got to get out of that. Um, my lawyer told me that at the time. I knew I had done nothing wrong, but somebody was extorting. I'll never forget. It was $33,000. I ain't saying I ain't do nothing, but I didn't do nothing illegal, and I didn't do nothing
yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
asked to do.
yeah.
And
Well,
it was early in my career, and it scared me enough to be the guy that leaves right after I perform. I'm on the first
Mm.
flight home. I'm in the room unless I'm hood. I'm going to Cheesecake or PF Chang's at the mall, and I'm back in my room. I do not
Wow.
congregate like that to keep myself out of trouble. I've
keep
always
yourself
been
a
a relationship
distance.
type dude, and I've been a relationship type dude because I'm an extremist. If I'm gonna be a
Mm.
hoe, I'm out here with everybody, and I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. I don't.
Yeah.
I've tried to view myself as not the prize, but a prize. But I will say the craziest thing that has probably happened on the road within the group is we were doing an after party and we got back to the hotel and Tweet had a girl sitting on his couch in his room. Somehow she had gotten the key and she had a Tweety Bird tattoo she had just gotten and was just sitting there waiting on him. Like she had been there. That was his girl. It was like it was the spookiest, craziest
Mm.
thing that as I've. It
And she
was it
was
was like
waiting there.
imagine you yeah had went to the front desk somehow and knew what room he was in, got a key and was we were shook.
Like,
Luckily we
no,
had
y'all turn the
security and
lights on. Like, y'all had to turn the light. Was she in the dark?
exactly
Nah,
yeah
no, no,
yeah.
no.
Now, real quick, because when you said that story, it reminded me of I did a gig in Morocco, you know, and the women there is like this whole situation where, if you're not Moroccan, you can't be caught in a room with a Moroccan woman, you know?
Mhm.
And so, but the women always know how to move and around that, they'll pay
It's
for
like
an
that in
extra
Dubai. You will go to
in
jail.
Dubai.
You go to jail.
So my thing is though, in Dubai, okay, there it is.
Yeah.
You answer my question.
Yeah. Yeah. You got, hey, listen, you play by the
Next
rules
up.
or you be on the news. Yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff has happened. Like cats have gotten in. But you know what's funny is a lot of times either the artist gets in trouble because of somebody from the entourage or like I seen in Dubai, a security guard, I won't even say the artist, a security guard was like jailed because of something that the artist did. He's back home,
Really?
but he went back on another job and they caught him up and he was in jail. Yeah. So
And
things
how's the
happen.
beauty in Dubai, as far as the women and how they look?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are covered, it's certainly depending on, what part of the religion. But I think there's beauty everywhere, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm from the hood, so I can find beauty in the chick on section 8 to
yeah.
the chick in the upper section. I mean, there's beauty. And I had to learn this
That's a
because
bar, by the way.
being on
That's a bar.
tour with Boys to Men, their audience was predominantly white. So I remember that was our second tour, but that was our learning experience. So you look in the audience and there's mosh pits. There's like I hate to say it, but it's just women from trailer parks. I almost used the other term, but there are women from trailer parks, yellow teeth, chain smoking, and I had to be able to look at them and sing to them and make them believe that they had that butter love. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And when you're in those environments, you tend to look around and you find beauty in the caucasity. You can find
Yeah.
beauty in the Asian. You go to different
I love
countries and
the
around these different
caucasity.
cultures, and you literally find beauty in anything. You know what I mean? If you look hard enough, you can find hate. You can hate. Like I tell people this: there's two things I don't like, and that's love and hate, because I can't control either one. You love something so much you can't control it, or somebody can do something that make you mad. Well, I'll say anger will make you mad, and now it could be sunny out. You be like, man, it's sunny out here, man. Well, it's so hot out here. When really,
Yeah.
if you was in a good mood, you'd be like, man, it's sun out. I'm about to roll the windows down. I'm
Drop
about to
top.
be in it. Yeah, right.
Deep.
But it's all about perspective.
It
It's that
is.
simple.
It is.
Hey, Mo, do you want to do the one word challenge?
Yeah, because we don't want to take your time anyway.
I appreciate y'all, man.
We going. Yeah. Listen.
Well,
Do you
just say
want to go
every
with
time I look
yours?
at you, hey, Mo, every time I look at you, all I think about is my boy Pat Bev. You looking like Pat Bev right now.
You
That's
talking about Pat
hilarious.
Beverly?
Yeah, that's my
You
guy.
ain't
His
right.
mom is super cool,
You
but
ain't right,
I
bro.
keep going, man. My guy look like Pat Beverly.
Hey,
But
man.
go ahead, my bad. I had
Hey,
to say
ain't nothing
that.
wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen. Hey, look, that brother has done a lot in his career.
Yeah.
And as
No,
he's done a lot in his
he's
career,
super cool.
he works
Super
hard.
cool, like super cool.
He works hard. I
Well,
saw
real
him on
quick.
Selling Sunset, getting that house. I was like, hey, it looks like his money's all right. God is blessing him with.
And
Yeah.
Pat Beverly knows how to play his role,
Right.
like an R&B group.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
got to know their role.
That's the other thing I do want to say before we go to the one word challenge is when you're in a room full of alpha males I'll say it like this. Sometimes things get messed up because cats don't stay in their lane. I want to give props to Tweet, even though he's not in the group anymore with us. Tilo and Tweet are real biological brothers. There's only two of us now, it's me and Tilo.
Yeah.
Tweet wasn't necessarily a main vocalist, but the humbleness and the guy to be the cheerleader, he was in the studio. He made every sacrifice. And it wasn't that he didn't have the talent. Sometimes people have to understand the role, and that's what makes everything run right. It isn't
Absolutely.
always the guy holding the mic in the front. That's why a lot of times people like the lead singer. I am not the lead singer. I could be the guy that you could say that sang a lot of the leads. I'll take that.
Lead
But
parts.
everybody led in their own way, and I don't want to minimize other people's contributions because maybe it's harder sometimes to be in the background. Sometimes it's more work to make that person in the front look like the man or the woman, whatever
Correct.
it is.
That sacrifice, yeah.
So a lot of times being in the studio with Silk, cats knew their role. It wasn't a guy like, well, you know what? I didn't sing a lot, but I could sing, and I want to be able to. That can mess up everything. Cats coming in not being willing to go, okay, cool. Well, I'll get on the next one. Or I'll do because the first single, most of the leads, the first verse is John John on the second verse. But I can't say out loud. I arranged the record as such where Lil G kills all of us because I gave him the prime real estate for that bridge. The vamp, we go into a vamp. So I literally there's sections to the record.
Lovely. Yeah.
And that allowed him a place to be in the window of the store. And literally you'll hear the record, and I had to humble myself because I was like, man, these were my ad libs, but guess what? He killed it. This was for him. And you have to be able to not necessarily minimize yourself, but not take yourself so serious and let other people shine. Because when you're able to do that, it comes around.
Always.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have a one word challenge.
Let's do it.
All right. So we want to know what comes to your mind when the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear these artist names.
Okay.
Now, real quick,
Go ahead.
how do you want to do it? Do you want to say a name and then I say my name and then back and forth kind of thing? Or
I want you to say your names.
my whole list first?
Go for it.
All right, bet. So my list is going to include R&B artists, producers, where it's like, if you know, you know, and random new people, right? So let's start here. Usher.
Man.
I like how you're taking your time.
Oh, okay. Frank
Smart.
Sinatra.
Woo!
He's the black Frank Sinatra.
I've never heard that. Oh my God.
If you did a Rat
where
Pack
this
and
is going.
Frank Sinatra was black, It'd be
Swag,
Usher.
yeah. Swag, yeah.
He is the
That'd be it.
R&B 007. Okay.
I hope he sees this because that's a really good compliment. Chris Brown.
The greatest artist of the generation, mad scientist. When I say this, he can act, he can sing, he can draw, he can produce, he can rap, he can dance. And people don't really recognize it because of one mistake he made as a 16, 17-year-old kid. But to be able
It
to
goes
come
back
back
to,
from
yeah,
the grave, he literally, if you watch Thriller and that hand come up out the ground from the grave,
literally.
that is Chris.
Woo!
And again, I knew Tina, so I knew about Chris before. He was just this kid from Virginia that was incredible. And the truth is, the only thing I would say is, I used to wish he would refine himself a little more because he's James
Mm.
Dean. He's James Dean. He's gonna smoke his
Ooh,
cigarette. He's gonna curse.
yeah.
He's gonna troll. He's gonna say whatever he wants to say online, and he doesn't care. I wish he cared because he's James Dean. He's the most talented person. He has the most gifts. He's Santa. He has the most gifts in his what do they call
In his
that thing?
bag.
In his bag,
Yeah, in
because
the
he can
bag.
do all of these things. The problem is sometimes he's same issue I have with Mint Condition, and those are my brothers. But I'm gonna be
I
honest.
love mint condition.
I'm gonna tell you my issue with Mint Condition.
Okay.
This before and it's not really my issue. They are mad scientists.
All of
And
them.
a lot of times it's the same thing I have to think of in the studio. Do I do this run? I know I can kill it. I'll save it for live. What'll happen is people will come to a Make Condition concert or they would, because Stokely, I mean, these guys are I mean, they're Einsteins, okay? Literally
Yeah.
the dopest musicians on the planet, really, and vocalists and all this, right? And you go to their concert and the average listener doesn't understand certain things. They don't understand the intricate things in the artistry. So you go and you want to hear Pretty Brown Eyes and Have a Cup of Tea. Oh, you want to hear that, right? And all of a sudden, mid-show is and all of a sudden they go into some
the jazz.
You come to math class and they take you to trigonometry and they take you to astrophysicists, and it's above a lot of people's heads, and not mine, but somewhat mine, because they're geniuses. So
Are we talking about like Toto? Like musicality of Toto?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think that with Chris, he will come rap on a song because he can. And it might not even need it on that song. But guess what? He's so dope. He can do it. So a lot of times it's that. But go ahead. What's the next name? My bad.
Robin Thicke. This may be controversial.
Victim of love.
Woo!
Because what happens is he's the opposite of what happens to us. They love you till they don't. Like, they're going to love us until you kill a dog or hit a Caucasian, right? That's what happens. That's how it happens, right? It's a dog. You can hit your sister wife. You can that. Cheat, but there's certain things you can't do for a pop audience, right? Well, he divorced the sister. And we kind of divorced him, but we shouldn't have, because he's super cold. I'm not gonna lie. I remember Robin Thicke on the bike driving through New York with the long hair singing.
You remember that?
He was like He was like Jamiroquai or something in a sense.
Was Jamiroquai. Right. Is that Jamiroquai?
So we kind of canceled him, which is sad, because he was heartbroken. He did a whole album for her and still didn't get her back.
He didn't get her back. It was sad. I was like, don't do this. Don't do this.
So that's I think he got reverse canceled. Okay.
That's interesting. Was not expecting that. Tank.
Prisoner.
Explain.
Tank can come off cocky sometimes, rightfully so, because he's a genius. But he's also it's also that PK in him, because I know things. I know that Tank was.
Real quick, he says PK. He means Pastor Kid.
Yeah, but he was Genuine's musical
background singer. Yeah.
And no, he was the musical director. Right.
Ooh.
So was
I didn't
if
know
I'm
there was
not
an
mistaken, I
MD
believe
too.
so, because what happened was we did a concert and Genuine was headlining and Tank went on right before him. People were leaving while G was on.
Mm,
Not because G isn't dope, because G is super dope.
I love G.
But going after Tank was difficult. He has the
Mm,
records, but Tank is just has the records and he gonna play.
playing
It's just vocally
live
it's a
and
little different, right? But I asked Tank, why'd you go on last? And he was like, the level of respect he had for G, because G put him on to an extent,
yeah,
was it was why. So it gave me a different level of respect for him. Number
Mhm.
two, I call him a prisoner because Tank should have been way bigger than he is. He's just now, in a sense, he was held hostage and prisoner because what he did was he was on black ground. He put his hands on Barry Hankerson. Barry put him on a shelf and sat him there. So he was just simmering with all this talent, not able to do what he was born to do. So they finally let him out their gates and he killed everybody. Rightfully
yeah,
so, but
Yeah.
I know he had he felt a certain way because I know what it's like to watch TV and see cats. And you're like, man, put me in the game, coach. If I was,
yeah,
so I get it because he's
yeah.
a genius. I know he is.
Mm,
So yeah, prisoner, because he
love
was
it.
held back for so long, and he wasn't able to take the rightful place that he's at now. And I think he'd be even further along now than he is had he been allowed to share his gifts like he's doing now.
We literally feel the same way. We're just not talking, but it's just kind of crazy how we both are like on the same page with Tank. Keisha Cole,
Mary J. Jr.
of course. Um, next one.
But listen, she's from the Bay, and I grew up in Hayward. I'm a huge fan. I think she is naturally gorgeous. I
yeah,
think that there are certain artists that have outgrown some of their urban ways,
yeah.
and they want to hold on to that because they think that that is a part of the allure. And for her, it's not. She's just dope. She's beautiful, talented,
Mhm,
but the hell, I'm down there 50. I'm 48.
mm,
I'm hood. Like there's certain things that'll always be in me, but I can get on
mhm,
here and there's certain I know how to not necessarily be fake, but there are
yeah,
other dynamics to me that I
See,
would rather
yeah.
push to the forefront than some
yeah.
hood. It's just what it is.
Gotcha. Uh, Eric Benet.
Hmm. That's a hard one. Gentleman. I've been around him. He's a gentleman. He's a quintessential gentleman. Um, the R&B Harry Belafonte. Super smooth.
Ooh.
Always going to be handsome to the ladies. You gotta be if you can let go of Holly and still bounce back and be
But
cool.
not
You
sexy
super
You ain't
though.
lying.
Handsome. That's a big deal because that
handsome,
hair
Nah.
yeah,
about he had that
right.
handsome gentleman type of,
And what's funny is when you think I always associate things with other things. So when I say Harry Belafonte, you were like, dang, yeah, I get that. So yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, we do the
Yeah, I
same
know
thing.
the
But and that's why I like how you like pick examples of the like I remember you said it's like when you're in the brothel, and I'm like, where's he going with it? And so it's like, but you'll always find a way to tie it in together. And then this reminds me like, oh, he can preach, like when but all right, so I'm gonna throw random producers at you.
okay,
A-list, B-list, whatever, if you know, you know.
okay.
Troy Taylor.
Ooh, um, professor.
Woo!
Because what happens is sometimes it comes off as condescending, but it's
I don't
not.
think it does.
He's a T. Okay, so I used his studio. And me and him got off on the wrong foot because me and Jamie Hawkins, Tremaine Hawkins' son, the great gospel artist,
Oh, that's right.
um, and we did a record for the NFL back when the NFL used to put out those CDs.
Yeah,
And we were in this studio in New York. I didn't know the characters, Troy Taylor and the guys, but we used
that's
the
right.
studio.
Charles.
So
Yeah.
he's engineering, but he starts trying to tell us what to do. And me being a young writer producer, I was like, what are we doing? Like, I'm so used to. Well, at the
Yeah.
time, I was used to an engineer pressing buttons. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he
Press those
was
buttons.
integrating himself into it. And I was just like, man, what in the world? And then there was a time where this was a teachable moment for me because there's a few that I've been humbled by fellow artists and producers. Somebody asked me about Trey Songz. And I said,
Mm.
he's not a vocalist, but he can sing. And it's really about his sexiness and the vibe that he creates. And it wasn't even a disparaging remark, but people can take things however.
Yeah, they could
And
come across. Yeah.
Troy came back with a response and said, oh, his time is over, or something like that about me.
Mm.
Because I didn't, I know he's his main producer and that's like his
Yeah.
little brother, and he got really defensive. But what's
Mm.
funny is when you get men in a room or anybody in a room away from the lights and they actually can
Just talk.
converse on a human level, you realize how similar you are and how things can be
Yeah.
just a simple misunderstanding. He actually sent me a track that I wrote for Christopher Williams, and they
Really?
recorded it. So I did a record for Christopher Williams, which is crazy. And he was super complimentary of me, and we were super cool. And I'm a fan of his work anyway. But
Yeah.
that goes to show things can start off on the wrong foot. But if you can be a man about it and understand your part in doing something the wrong way, yeah, that's what happened.
That was very well spoken. Because I actually grew up in the music industry under Troy Taylor and Trey
Uh-huh.
Songz. So I was the next person after Trey, but
Got you.
our lives went differently, But
Understood.
it's interesting how you because
And I'm a fan. I'm a
work
fan
in
of Troy too. Troy is
yeah,
Trey
well,
because you know Butter. Then you know Butter. You know Butter.
yeah, Brother Murphy,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because he had the studio in Teaneck, and so that's where we worked and all that good stuff. At that time, Trey was a young kid learning how to be an artist.
Got you.
All right, next producer, Rich Harrison.
Oh my goodness, drums. His drums is he's like
Let's
he has
go.
like I just think he's the drummer boy. Incredible. I think that people will try to emulate that forever. I think he's super cold with the drums. So that it's simple, drummer boy.
So you say that now with this guy. Now I'm gonna give you this name, Bangladesh.
Ooh, Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix. He's just different. Almost like
Mm.
Seven. He's just different. He's a rock star producer.
Ooh, Seven.
He's a
Even
rock
forgot
star
about
producer.
Seven.
I remember they used to tell me Seven when he produced, you had to have a smoke machine in the studio for him, literally.
What?
Like he had a certain vibe. There's a new, and I had to get used to this. There are now producers more famous than the artists. They've marketed themselves and they've become like, now don't get me wrong, I used to go and look for CDs and I remember Usher's first album. I looked for every record Devontae produced. Devontae was my favorite. Whoever he produced on, I was looking to see. So yeah, I think Bangladesh, cause he's so eclectic. I mean, he'll
Yeah.
take you to India, he'll come back, take you to Britain. It's crazy. You're like, what in the world? So, but in a dope way. He's really eclectic.
I got two more.
Okay.
Donald Jones.
You said Donnell Jones?
Donald Jones, yep.
Chicago gangster. He a Chicago
Gangster?
pimp. So yeah, just smooth.
Smooth.
Like
I was about
okay,
to say,
I thought he
I'm
meant
okay,
like,
smooth.
no, yeah,
No, I
but
mean-
okay, most pimps were gangsters. What I mean by that
Yeah.
is pretty Tony. Like, listen, baby, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? He real smooth like that, but he will put hands on somebody. So don't let the
Mhm.
smooth taste fool you. So yeah, I give him that. You know what I'm saying?
I like Pretty Tony. I like that
Yeah.
name, Pretty Tony. And Lucky Day. That's my last one.
Ooh, man, the present and the future.
Say that
He is
again?
like the present and the future. He is like. He doesn't necessarily play all the instruments like her, but they're on the same trajectory to me of greatness.
Mm.
Like they're right there on the cusp. They're already great. So yeah.
Well, that was my list. I took my answers. I love it.
Like, I'm gonna be real quick with you. I'm gonna be real quick. Babyface.
Oof. He's one of the most kindest, humblest dudes ever. Sidney Poitier. There you go. Easy. He
I
is
like
that.
that.
He is the smoothest dude that you will blink and his girl is already back next to you buttoning her blouse. He's already took her to the room vocally. The song you just yeah, baby, I'm going to the restroom real quick. And you thought she went and did number one because she's back that fast. Babyface done already he's smooth. He's that
Now
smooth.
you see him, now you don't.
Exactly. She done already. She over there like this. With something on her lips. She getting it off, and you like,
Yeah,
wait a minute. She move?
yeah.
Like, how did this
Where's the
happen?
food?
Right.
Where's the food? I ain't see no food.
No, right. That's baby on her face. Okay.
Yeah.
Literally.
He's been baby faced.
Right. Exactly. There you go.
Oh Lord, I love it. Charlie Wilson.
Victorious Survivor.
Yes.
Everybody's uncle. I don't know how you go from
Mm,
homeless to his story is like it needs to be a movie. I need to call it
yeah.
Mr. Wilson and just do a movie. I mean, to go through. He's a cat. He's had 9 lives. You have the Gap Band. You know what I mean, you have this.
Mhm.
Uncle Charlie now, and it's just like the comeback story of the year. He's Rocky. He's the R&B Rocky. He faced Drago. His brother was killed. You know what I mean? Drago got Apollo Creed in a sense, and now he's coming in like everybody's like, no, you can't do it, and he's victorious. He is straight Rocky of the industry, the Black
Wow.
Rocky.
R&B Rocky.
That is
There
it.
you go.
That is wild.
Wow.
That's such a good. Yeah, I like that.
All right. Ralph Tresvant.
My goodness. Oh, let me see. That's a hard one because Smokey Robinson. See, there you go, Smokey Robinson. Because he would be around like, hopefully he ain't gonna be rapping about crack like my Uncle Smokey was, but that's that smooth voice, and what he does is like, there wouldn't be the Slims of the world, there wouldn't be the Lloyds of the world.
Yeah.
That's all because of Ralph. For
all
our
facts.
generation and generations to come. So people don't, when you could say 40 something years, like that, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a very. You know what's sad though? Let me not say that. You know how you have conversations with other brothers in music, and it's like some people you just hate on, but it's not a malicious thing. It's just jokingly, like, and you guys are just blah blah blah. But it's not like serious. We have kind of like a back and forth with some of our friends that hold Ralph Tresvant over Bobby Brown, and we get in a lot of heated discussions between like.
But I think
who's
it's
better
actually a
between the
good
two.
thing. I think it's a good-
So do you want to know what I think?
Yeah, sure.
Oh no.
You talking about vocally or
no.
song wise?
Okay.
I'm talking about no, because they have two different vocals, so I don't want to talk about them vocally. I want to talk about their overall
Ask him the
star
question.
power, entertainer, performer, and sings.
Well, wouldn't that be about longevity then, and how you took care of yourself? And
Yeah.
I mean, because Bobby's a bad boy. Ralph is for all intents and purposes a good guy. No trouble.
Yeah.
None of those kind of things. Stays out the way. Does his music. Had an incredible and still has an incredible career. I don't think there would be one without the other. I agree with that. I think that. I mean, people drink coffee because of the caffeine, but they also put sugar and cream in it. I think the caffeine is Bobby, the sugar and cream is Ralph. So, I mean, yeah.
That's
Look,
very good.
But you got to remember also, Ralph didn't have, I'll say it like, I got it. I'll use myself as an example. If I hadn't been as loyal as I am, which I don't regret, I probably could be a lot more famous. A lot of the records that I did for other artists, I kept in-house for artists that were label mates and friends. I could have given them to bigger artists at the time. I was a well-sought-after writer. I was giving those records to Jaheim because he was on the floor in an air mattress next to mine in KG's back house. It was family. Coffee Brown family, you know what I'm saying? I didn't go out saying, well, I want to get a record on Mariah. I want to go do this. I didn't try that. I was like, I'm focused on my family. There was this level of loyalty. Once Bobby was kicked out of New Edition, he didn't have to have that loyalty.
Yeah.
He got to go work with whoever he wanted to work with.
That's true.
Now,
He ran.
Now Ralph kept it in house. He kept it with Jimmy and Terry. You know what I'm saying?
Loyal.
He
Loyalty.
stayed. It was still about the group, exactly. And there are I can't say regrets. There are questions I ask myself. If I hadn't passed up this deal or this opportunity because I wanted to show my group that I was a team player. There are times that you wonder, but if you get stuck on that, then it's a wrap anyway. You got to move on to the next thing. Got to pivot.
Yeah.
John B.
Woo! Let's go.
Ooh, Michael McDonald.
Shut the front door. That's big. That's a big compliment.
Because you got to think he
They
can
didn't even
play
have the
too. They
same
both
voice.
play, but he can play, and
He can.
That's right.
He
He
can
can
play.
play the
Yes, he
keys.
can.
he can do
Forgot
some
about
things
that.
better than Face vocally too.
Well,
He
yeah,
can,
yeah.
Absolutely.
and I
Yeah.
just,
We heard that in the
and
first one.
he's a really really nice guy. And to be in
Mhm.
our space and to be accepted and allowed it to cook out, yeah, he has his wife is a sister, but there's a level of swag that he has. There's certain dudes that you meet, you go, yeah, he been around some of us, and he embraces the culture. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
to the
wasn't like it was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm
fullest.
gonna do this, and I got y'all now. I got this platform. I'm gonna go over here and get this
Switch.
other money
Yeah.
because he didn't do that, and there's a
He
level of
stayed loyal
respect.
to that R&B sound. Like you said, Mo, it's like he stayed in that black
I keep
R&B
saying it.
And didn't
cookout,
have
Yeah.
to. And didn't
hood,
have to.
all that.
Yeah, like he wants to do like songs with like Raekwon, and like he wants to be in all of
Yeah.
our section, and I love it.
Exactly.
I love it. Barry White.
The maestro. People don't realize that he
Woo.
was in there putting it together. He was creating it. Him and Isaac Hayes. Shout out to Isaac Hayes the third. You know, he's out here doing crazy things in the technology space and social media with his app and
Hmm.
everything. But those guys they're bringing in, like, you would have the Rick Ross sound and these heavy strings and these orchestras and all that on these records, um without Barry. Barry had the idea of how to do things, and he was the ultimate arranger. He was, to me, the ghetto Quincy Jones, because he was in there with the
Let's
symphonies
go.
and the strings, and so yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I like that.
Yeah. Brandy.
Mm. I'm a huge fan. She's one of the greatest. um People compare her to Whitney.
But they're not the
Um,
same.
But they do
I
compare it to Whitney. They do.
they compare in a sense, but if Whitney is the queen, I know that's Aretha, as they say, but Brandy's royalty.
Okay.
Brandy is the vocal Bible. I remember I was having an argument about Brandy. It was Jazzy Faye's ex-wife, Tammy Faye, really super cool. And she was like, I'm telling you, Jazzy gonna say such and such, blah, 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 vocally, this and that and the other. We called Jazzy on speakerphone. And he was like, oh, Brandy, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
that's not a yeah, without
Brandy
question.
vocally, what she does. And it's not against any other artist. That's why I didn't name other artists, but Brandy, with that raspy voice, and I'm partial because I have a raspy voice. There's nothing she can't do that I don't like. I think the issues that I've had is sometimes she's overproduced, and she could sit there with a
Mm.
sim. She should be the black Celine Dion. That's what she should be. She should be able to do Vegas every night for the next 20 years because her voice is heavenly. I guarantee you, when one day when I'm not on this earth and an angel opens her mouth to sing, it's gonna sound like Brandy. That's what I feel like, easily.
That's a clip right there. My
My
gosh.
goodness. Okay. On that note, I
Whoa.
got two more. I listen.
Okay,
I don't even
Yeesh.
want to. Goodness, Joe.
my favorite.
Yeah.
The most underrated. Excuse me, the most underrated in history. Like,
Wow.
listen,
Sheesh.
I believe it.
He can do
listen.
everything.
Listen, he is velvet and silk. He is the musical tailor. He's that guy you go to when they put you in a suit and they
Mhm.
fit it to you perfectly, like a tailor. Like the words, nothing is off. Like literally,
Mm.
he man, oh my Joe's my favorite. When we first came out, they did like calendars, and for our birthday months, we had to put our favorite artists, favorite foods, favorite. I remember I chased him down at the airport one day early in my career, handed him a calendar because it had him as my favorite artist. Him and
Nice.
J Moss is the two J's. That's what it is.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny how you mentioned Jay Moss because I remember when people were buzzing about Jay Moss when I was in the industry, and it was just kind of like, yeah, this guy, it's like he has a sound. So like you'll know his track because he has a sound because his vocals are still backgrounds on these on these songs. And I was a big fan of the era that we were in high school when me and Mo met. The white boy band era was huge.
So
Backstreet
NSYNC,
Boys,
NSYNC,
NSYNC,
yeah,
and it led me to Do Your Thing. J Moss produced for NSYNC, and NSYNC was still singing on that too. It wasn't just a J Moss featuring NSYNC. They really did blend it all together. So it reminds me of that era of boy bands.
He did a
So
lot on that. He did a couple records on that project, right?
yeah,
Yeah, he
they
did.
kept them in that boy band
He
pocket. They
did.
kept using it. And I think he brought the black soulful element out of these white boys to make them sound like that. And also, like After Seven, what, is it After Seven or
Yeah,
T7?
After 7.
After Seven, also NSYNC redid it, so they
Yeah.
had their go-to when they need their R&B pockets. J Moss was one of them.
Yeah.
So, but I was a big, I feel like you represent black male R&B royalty next.
Oh, thank you.
But when we break it down, there's black R&B groups, and then there's the white pop band era groups. Now,
Right.
jump into the white boy land of pop bands where it was like Mania. We're talking about Beatles, Backstreet,
Right.
and whatever. What was some of your favorites when it comes to that? And then also, what are your favorites on the top 5? Black male groups, white boy band groups. Both boy bands, different cultures, different sounds.
I would say, I can't say groups. I say like Journey. I love Journey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cause what's name? Steve Perry. Oh, Sherry, our love holds on, holds on. I love that. I love
It
Journey.
stings
Of
to
course,
this
of
day.
course, the Chicago. I love Peter
Yeah.
Cetera because he on them Karate Kid movies. Oh my goodness, he had the Karate Kid 2 theme music. Oh, I still listen to that. It's incredible. He had put some effect on his voice. I think it's the same effect that Beyonce used on the run. Was that
Oh,
that same
oh,
like
I
that?
know
It's
what you're
like a
talking about.
phase on it. I love that. Of course, the
Mm,
Bee Gees. You already know the Bee Gees is like my Toto, of course.
Oh, yes.
you're just
Because
naming
they
up
did
a royalty.
Africa, right? They did Africa.
Yeah, they did
Sailing
Africa.
Yeah.
Christopher Cross. Oh my
Cross.
gosh.
Christopher
Oh my gosh. So
Cross.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then black, or so say African American, Jodeci is easily like, because they were like rock stars. They let me know I can have edge. I can have a little edge. It was okay. I didn't have to go and put on my little tight suit, and little penny loafers. I'd had to have it on the hard bottoms to do what I wanted to
Yeah.
do. I'd honestly say
Hard
I don't want to
bottoms.
group them in, but 112 they have a record on the Money Train soundtrack. It's called Make Love,
Yeah.
and I think that Wanye helped him with the vocals. If you listen to it, it's some of the dopest singing I've ever heard. It's called Make Love. It's on the
Really?
Money
Mm,
Talks or Money Train soundtrack. It is incredible.
I'm gonna look at that.
I do love Jagged because they sound like some Charlie Wilson's, like, you know what I mean? That's what the
Yeah.
twins remind me of. So I've always had love for them. Um if we going further back, it's hard because I grew up
You
on
got 2
Jimmy
more.
Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yeah.
Did I say New Edition? Because New
No,
Edition
you
No.
is
didn't. There it
that
is.
Heartbreak album
That Heartbreak
changed my
album.
life. Mhm.
That's the
But see,
album.
then I have to say After 7. People don't. My first song that I ever sung on
Birthday.
local cable access is "I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the world." That was my because Kevon is
Get Ready
a
or Not.
killer.
One of my
He is
favorites.
but he is a killer. People don't realize
Yeah.
they
Who,
laughed at when
Kevon?
he had the little hair.
Yeah.
Kevon had the little hair hat, the little flat top, and
Yeah.
they laughed at him.
Yeah.
He finally cut it
Yeah.
off. But Kevon is, and I remember when they put Babyface's nephew in a group. His brother that passed away. What is his name? Oh my goodness.
Yes, the brother passed away. Yep.
Yeah, his son. I can't remember. Forgive me. Oh Lord, but they put his son in the group, and my brother had given his son a name because when I worked in L.A. with the Underdogs,
Mm.
Jason was in there, and my brother gave him a name. And every time I see them, well, I know Jason's not in the group anymore, but every time we would see them when he was, Kevon would have me say the name that we gave him, and we call we, we called him Maybe Face.
Oh no. Damn.
Jason, don't kill me. So if I call him right now and I say it, he'll
Oh,
probably hang up or start laughing. But my brother was like, "Oh, you babyface nephew, so you're maybe face." So, as a matter of fact,
Babyface.
Melvin, rest in peace, Melvin. It's
Yes,
Melvin.
Melvin.
I'm glad I remember. Yes,
His
and he was
daughter.
incredible.
that's right.
His daughter.
Yeah, Melvin.
Actually, his daughter. A story about that. His daughter. Maybe it was like 2-3 months ago. Was on a Sunday. Was on one of my 90s R&B TikTok live shows, and she requested saying, "Mo, can you play anything from After Seven? My father, recipe." I was like, "I got you," and I
That's
and I
dope.
played this song. She said, "Thank you so much," and the people were
That's
feeling
dope.
it, man.
Rest in peace to Melvin. I always looked at him as a
Yeah.
verse killer.
Oh,
The
yeah.
person you want to have on those verses. And I like
Yeah.
the fact that he knew his range. And because you gotta know your range and where you stay when you're singing next to a
And
what's
his,
his
and his
Kelvin?
tone,
And he
his
knew
tone
his
was
pocket.
crazy. His tone was crazy.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah, it was
wind. It was just like it just flowed. Yeah.
rich mahogany.
Yes.
Yes. So I think those were the group. I think After Seven went. That was the groups. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You got it. Bye.
Those are great choices.
Thank you,
Perfect.
man. I appreciate it.
We're all great choices. So
I think we listen. We're good. Thank you, RL, for blessing us.
Man, thank you guys. And I'm about to email you you something special. Y'all keep it
Ooh.
to yourselves.
Oh,
Because it
definitely
ain't out
better.
yet. I'm about to send y'all something in a minute. So
Alright, yeah.
I just want to take this time to say a lot of artists don't understand how important you guys are, and you guys using your platforms to elevate and educate. And I want you guys to know how much I appreciate y'all. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, we've been on for what, 2 hours?
I just saw 2
Yeah.
hours. I'm looking at 156.
Crazy.
I'm like, oh man,
Yeah,
we're using your time
No,
up.
no, it's
You gotta
not.
get your
I
turkey on, brother. You gotta get your
No,
turkey
I'm good.
on.
I'm good.
The dark side, the dark side of
This
the
the
turkey.
highlight of my holiday week, and I want you guys to know how much I
Beautiful.
appreciate y'all. So thank y'all.
Appreciate you.
Now, real quick, kind of like the same idea of the R&B podcast. If you know any of your fellow R&B, friends,
do.
associates,
I do.
anybody in the game that would be interested in maybe entertaining us like you did, and
You should do Q. You
set the
should do
time
Q
aside.
Parker. Q Parker got some amazing new project out. Rico Love, I think, co-wrote the new single. Keep on loving. He had the first single, Big. He just put out what did he call this new project? Evolution of Romance. And it is incredible.
Really?
So I think that would be somebody, and I'll reach out to him. He's probably on the road right now, but I think that would be an amazing time because he's
Well,
real
it's
knowledgeable.
interesting. I don't know if he remembers me, but
Yeah.
when I was dealing with my partner Antoine, we made a song, "The Best Night," and he actually recorded it, and he was going to do a duet. I could actually send that to you if you wanted to hear, not what they
I got you.
recorded, but our demo version.
Right.
And he actually took that song and he was going to make it like a duet. Like he was going to sing a verse, and then the lead singer from Day 26, the guy that's
Oh,
in
that's
Shape,
dope.
what's his name?
I know
The one
what he's
that worked
talking
with him.
about.
Oh, you talking about Willie?
Willie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They were supposed to do something together, So it's like, hopefully, if you put in that good word and then he sees my face, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember." So hopefully,
I think that would be really dope because he has something to talk about. He's real knowledgeable. He's talented,
Yeah.
and he has an incredible new project out. So
Yeah.
I promise you, I will.
I
And
think
I don't
he's
do
an
the industry
underrated singer.
talking. So
I think he's an
yeah,
underrated
very much
singer
so.
as well.
I
You know who
think
he sounds like
'cause
to
when I
me?
was in the studio with him, he
He
was
sounds like Eric.
when
He
I was
sounds
in
like
the
Eric
studio with-
Dawkins. Sounds like Eric Dawkins.
Like,
Yes, he does.
He's an R&B
like
Eric
his
Dawkins.
Yes,
There it
he
is, okay.
does.
his tone is like effortlessly smooth. It's not, he's not really trying. It's like his tone just stays smooth. But yeah,
He's
I got it.
incredible, man.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
thank you.
And that's good. Oh, real
Yep.
quick. We all are believers. This is a family thing. So I just want to end up with a quick prayer,
Almost.
if
Let's
you
do
don't
it.
mind.
Of course.
Father, I thank you for this podcast. I thank you for the times that we all sacrifice to make this thing happen. I pray that the points that have been released in this podcast touch those, influence others outside. And I pray that through this podcast, more doors of opportunity and prosperity open up for our brother RL. And I pray also that he has a significant moment too, to where people can be reminded of how dope he really is. I pray that you just give him some kind of exposure in his journey that he's in now. And I just pray, Lord, that we all enjoy a holiday today and let it be peace, no arguments. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys
again.
again,
right.
and I'll talk to
Thank
y'all
you,
soon.
RL. Appreciate you.
All right, RL.
All love,
Appreciate
brother.
you.
Thank
All right,
you.
talk to y'all in a minute.
All right now.
All right,
Peace
brother.
out. Bye.
Peace.
Enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving.